What's up, y'all? Today I got my dad's 2019 Duramax in the shop. We're going to be doing some maintenance on it, but in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do the fuel filter. I believe it's 2013 to 19, or the L5Ps should be all in the same location. It could also be from 19 to 14. But anyways, I'll get right on it and show you how it's done.
What you're gonna need are a 18 millimeter, and a lot of people say to use a 36 millimeter, but I can't really get that to fit on the housing. If I can, it's so tight I can't even get it off. But I got this 1 7/16 socket. I've done this job before with it and it's been good, so I'm gonna use that. Also, obviously, you're gonna need a catch pan. If you got one of these, it's really helpful. You're gonna want to come to the driver's side where the gas tank is, obviously, for the fuel filter, and it is right there. That's the gas tank right there, and it's just right in front of it. All right, so you're gonna want to get your 18 millimeter and loosen this screw or this nut. I think it's a little bleeder, kind of depressurize the whole system, something like that. See if you'll get a little stream coming out like that. I think it's just to relieve some of the pressure whenever you get the actual big filter off.
All right, so once you get the bleeder going, you don't want to leave it going too long, because eventually, if you leave it running for like days, it will drain out your whole fuel tank. So I gotta tighten. We'll get started. Get your big socket, and it takes a lot of force, but it eventually comes out. Eventually you'll feel it just loosen, and then a bunch of fuel, bunch of diesel's gonna fall out. This in the pan. I just let it drain out for a little bit, and eventually you're gonna have to take the whole entire housing out. You can see having this little catcher is very, very helpful. Not making a mess. Alrighty. Just like that, your filter's right here. You just either kind of twist it or wiggle it, or it's hard to get it because it's covered in diesel. You get that filter out. You're also going to want to change this O-ring, and I'll show y'all here, but there's also an O-ring we got to change right here.
Alrighty, that is the O-ring that I was talking about. We're gonna best thing to do to get that off is just grab a pick. I'll back out. Get a pick. Grab it. Go in a circle. Boom, comes right off. Alright, putting the O-ring back on. I'm just gonna use the pick again to kind of just circle it around. Just use my finger there, and there you go.
All right, we're going to change the O-ring on this as well. On the housing, just like that. Pop it off. New one goes back on. I would get either diesel or a little bit of oil. Probably lubricate before I put it on instead of when it's on. All right, lube it up like that. And just like that. Same thing, you're gonna want to probably just get your hand a little wet with diesel and lubricate the O-ring. should snap in just like
All right,
that.
putting it back on. Obviously the hole there is for the old dripping diesel. I'll just get on there with your hand first and then crank it down. Cranking down real good, real tight. I imagine you can get it as tight as humanly possible, but it starts making noises. I think that's about good. And now you want to grab your 18. Snug up this nut. Ain't spilling diesel everywhere anymore. Same thing with that. Once it starts squeaking, you're probably good and tight. And now we'll go prime the system. Right, so last step, just gonna want to prime the system. You hear it going. Do that about 3-4 times. So I actually was having trouble starting up the truck, but that was because I did not have the housing tight enough. So I believe air was getting into the system, or diesel was leaking out. But you need to tighten it way more than how I was in the video. It should literally snug to the point where you can't tighten it anymore. I mistaken that with the sound of the plastic, because that's just a big plastic housing. I didn't want to break it, so I forgot that you gotta snug that down really tight. So if you're having trouble, if you do this and you're having trouble starting your truck, it's because you don't have that tight enough. And now, fires up.
Alright y'all, that wraps it up for this video. If you got any comments, any concerns or recommendations, put it in the comments below. And if this helped y'all out in any way, please like, share, comment, everything. So I'll catch y'all next time.